Hello and welcome to another edition of our ETF Insights series where we chat with innovative leaders from the ETF and digital assets ecosystem. Today I'm really delighted to be joined by Sylvia Jablonski, who is CEO, CIO, and co-founder at Defiance ETFs. Great to see you, Sylvia. Why don't we start with you telling us about Defiance ETFs and what you do there?
Hi, Andrea. Thanks so much for having me. It's been fun listening to your podcast and happy to be on here. So at Defiance ETFs, I'm currently the CEO and CIO and joined the company about a year and a half ago. What we do is essentially build thematic ETFs, which target disruptive technologies, the sectors of tomorrow, if you will. So we have ETFs that cover, for example, themes like 5G, hydrogen, SPACs, psychedelics, quantum computing, basically things that millennials and beyond, that 60 trillion of wealth is going to come down from baby boomers to their kids and grandkids. And, people like us who are sort of still in the market and looking out for what the next 10 years will be like, want access to some of these new innovative disruptive technologies. So we really focus our efforts in that space. And we also have a little bit of a lean towards the cryptocurrency, digital asset part of the world.
So I know in that list that you were mentioning, Defiance was the first company to come out with an NFT ETF in December of last year. It's a great ticker, NFTZ, which I really like. But can you tell us, where you see that industry going and who you think will be the biggest investors in that particular product?
Sure. So NFTZ is an ETF that basically tracks companies that are heavily involved in whether via investments, creation, adoption of NFTs and blockchain technology. So we think that this is very much in the initial stages. This is an ETF that is going to grow over time, and it's come from this explosion of desire of people to have, decentralized finance and to own their own sort of art, currency, investments, whatever it may be. And, we really got the idea through thinking about how, the peer-to-peer network is working and how investors, again, particularly young investors, want to be doing more than just buying a stock. They want to be part of the process. They want to be co-creators. So for example, a musician might create an NFT and the buyer of that NFT then has this ability to use that music in however, in whichever way he sees fit, but the original artist gets a trailing commission along the way. So people love that idea of like partnership and also, actually paying the artist. So long story short, the people who will invest in this are people who are interested in this type of technology where, they get exposed to art, they get exposed to ownership of digital assets and the future of that. They participate in the metaverse. They might want to own land in the metaverse and want this sort of smart contract type of technology for their investments. I think initially it's going to be retail. It's like Bitcoin, right? It got a huge retail following for a long time, and then institutions jumped into it. So the pension funds, hedge funds, most recently Fidelities of the world kind of jumped into that. So I think you'll see that down the road with NFTs.
And I know, I follow you a lot, and I see you do a lot of interviews on CNBC and Bloomberg, and you address really your market outlook on anything from, what's currently happening in the market environment to things as specific as what your call is on Bitcoin. So my question for you is just given like what's currently going on, the market volatility and all that, like if you had to pick one particular thematic right now, like what would be your something that you're currently looking at or that you personally might invest in?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because I actually think that they're so beat up that you really can't go wrong just picking one that makes sense for the future. So obviously, because of NFTZ, I really love the idea of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and digital assets. I think that they're going to be a generational opportunities. In terms of just our ETFs, if I could sort of like recommend one or pick one out that I would personally invest in today, it would be 5G. I think the whole world is going to be powered by 5G. So you need 5G for electric vehicles. You need it for artificial intelligence. You need it to power the metaverse, Web 3.0, edge computing, basically anything and everything that has to do with the growth of disruption technology. The evolution of technology in the future is going to be powered by 5G. So that's probably where I'd put my dollar or $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Sylvia. That was really insightful. And for those of you who are watching, if you'd like to watch more videos like this, you can go to our website, which is blackwatersearch.com. And thank you for watching.